can't believe the journey that Wendell August has taken with Molly this year so far. We went from very cold February to very cold, wet, rainy April, and now it's 100 degrees. But I couldn't be more blessed with, you know, the women and the quality of people that I've met through Wendell Women in Wine personally, and I know how much the president of my company, Will Connect, who wanted to be here today, just appreciates all the energy that you provide to us here and to the different organizations in Chester County that help people like Terry Moody and the domestic violence of Chester County companies. So I just want to thank everybody again for coming. I want to thank again all my employees who do such an awesome job to make this all happen. And my boss, and my boss, Karen Anderson, from coming all the way in from Grove City today, which is not a fun ride, even in 100-degree weather. So right now, can I just give one little, I'm going to give two little commercials. Number one, if anybody's looking for a part-time sales position, we are hiring. It would be not for summer help, it's for, you know, from now until whenever you're going to be doing these events. The other little commercial I have is that, thanks to Patty said I'm allowed to say it, but we are best in Mainline for 2012 for most best unique wedding gifts. So I'm sure you guys are all going to want to buy tickets and come and see us there. It's a great party. I'm sure you can see Patty Griffin, and she'll get you some good tickets. So, but thank you all for your support, and I want to turn it over to Terry Moody. We have, it's one of the organizations that we've partnered with the longest at Wendell August since we've been in Chester County. So without further ado, Terry.
Thank you, Lori. Some of us are older than other people.
No, I know.
It has been one of those long days today. Hi, everybody, and thank you, Lori, so much to you and Wendell August for hosting this, and Molly. I really can't say enough about your support, but I am going to say something else about it in a little bit. Again, my name is Terry Moody, and I'm the Director of Development for the Domestic Violence Center of Chester County. And I'd like to give you just a really quick overview of who we are and the services that we provide. But first, it's important to know that domestic violence affects 1 in 4 women in the United States, and probably across the world as well. Probably about 1 in 7 men, but it's harder to get the statistics on men, but it certainly is not just a gender-specific issue. And when we talk about domestic violence, we're not talking about the obvious necessarily as far as the battering. We're talking about emotional abuse, financial, sexual. It's gone on for way too long. In Chester County, we've been around now for 36 years, and we have served over 28,000 individuals, and these are victims and their dependent children. Last year, I think our count was about 3,400 in Chester County alone. And this is the thing that nobody wants to talk about, you know, not in my backyard, not my neighbor, not me. But I promise you, you just look in our room here, I promise you that we have survivors, victims and survivors as well. The services that we offer are, we do have in Westchester is our shelter. We have a 24-hour shelter there where we do provide food and all the necessities. All of our services are free and confidential. We have 3 other housing programs. The other ones are transitional housing programs. Our motto is freedom through empowerment. It's not enabling, it's not entitling, it's all about empowering. I think that's very important. So along with our housing programs, of course, we do counseling, our 24-hour hotline where we do have someone available 24 hours a day to talk to. We have children's programs, group and individual counseling, legal advocacy, legal representation, and community outreach is what I mainly do besides looking for the money. That's my big job. Again, all of our services are free, so that is a big job. We have offices also in Coatesville, Kennett Square, Oxford, and a new office now at Phoenixville Hospital. So, and we are for all of Chester County. Through our community outreach, my big passion really has been dating violence awareness. When you study domestic violence, you really learn that so many times it's a cycle that was learned from childhood, that the abusers or the victim, it's repeated behavior. So how can we break the cycle? Well, we really need to talk to kids. So our push is really to get into area middle schools and high schools, and I will tell you in Chester County that is a challenge. So anyone who has any connections, please let me know. We have been to some, and we've tried to get into others, but that's very important, so we'll talk about that later on as well. I do want to tell you on our table here, we have a bookmark that's great for the kids, and it says, loves me not. It's just kind of a real quick overview. We have plenty of brochures there on all different subjects, including our purple empowerment bracelet, so please help yourself to the materials on the table. I also want to say that I met a lovely woman today, Connie. Elder. And Connie has written a book about her experiences, and it's a wonderful uplifting booklet. It's on our table as well. I just met her tonight, and I think it's the beginning of a wonderful relationship, so please take that booklet as well. And as I look around, I see so many of you that I know and that you have supported us in so many different ways. And I do want to put a real quick shout out here to Diane Canterbone, who again this year is having a boot camp. She is a personal trainer this Saturday, and all proceeds go to the Domestic Violence Center as well. So please thank Diane. Now, Miss Molly, if you have not heard her radio program she did at 5 o'clock in the morning on Friday. It's on her blog. Please listen to it. She came to a seminar that we did on Thursday and got every fact, every nuance, and she and Dan talked about it for 25 minutes at 5:30 in the morning for their radio show, and it is wonderful. And I think you can have the link on your website. And if you come here for just a second. I have a little gift for you. You're doing so much for us. We have a little gift for Molly. If you know Molly, you know her heart is as big as this world is bigger. And so we have a little gift to thank you for what you've done for us. You can open it up. And it's an empowerment necklace. And it was designed by Reed Witherspoon, who is the national spokesperson for domestic violence. So we thank you, Molly, for everything you do for us.
Wow. You know, when you give a lot of things of your time, it doesn't have to be money, folks. When you give a lot of your time, your energy, your passion, your words, you know, you don't really experience, you know, you don't expect to get things like that in return. But when that happens, I'm very grateful for that. So, Terry, thank you very much. And actually, I just want to add one thing on top of that, is the program that they had was for workplace. You know, because 75% of things that happen at home actually make their way into the workplace. And that doesn't just mean somebody using company time for personal emails and texts. It can be bad. So just to have that awareness that we can do something about this. And yes, I went to the program at 7 o'clock, and usually on Friday, Dan and myself, we have a radio show in the morning. It starts at 6, but he rolled out of bed and I said, honey, we need to do this radio program, and we're going to do it because I need to be on WCHE at 6:30, so we can do this between 5:30 and 6. We can do this. So, you know, and he is a sport, God bless him. You know, when you're with the Molly Sunshine Group, you just got to roll.
Can I say one other quick thing?
Yes.
If you listen to her voice, it's very husky.
It's husky, so if you want to be turned on by Molly and Lauren. But to be quite honest, we are getting a lot of great feedback because I have done so much for women. A lot of the men have been reaching out, and I've been blessed that my husband, who is not only a health counselor, he's in charge of leading a lot of people, so he has a lot of great experiences. And also in our relationships. It's not easy being married to an entrepreneur. I'm not perfect, folks. None of us are. And that is really important as to how we're going to be talking about the good life tonight. These charms are not just charms. They're not just beautiful charms by Emily, by Wendell August. They're significant. So when you wear these, I really want you to be thinking of, the first charm was the sunshine. For those who got it, we focused on the cost model. It was focusing on how we're dealing with change, organization, stress, time. The second one was the star. It was about how do we dream big. The third one today is about the good life. The good life. What does that mean? You know, and Jen, where's Jen? Raise your hand, the beautiful photographer that made this book possible. Come on up, Jen. Don't be shy. She is a fabulous photographer. She's very humble. I love her for that, but she is a beautiful star in the sky. I met her in a street fair in Westchester, and actually not her, I met your mom and dad, and I just felt something special about them, and they got out an article and said, this is about my daughter Jen, and there was just something special, and I reached out to Jen, and I said, you know what? Take a leap of faith with me. I think we're supposed to be doing a book together. So her pictures actually depict letters that are found in nature. And many of you know that visualization and focusing on your goals and what you want out of life, specifically how it relates to how you choose to live it every day, matters. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking that leap of faith, and God bless you. You're wonderful. because without these people who are giving of themselves, I can't be up here doing this kind of stuff. And so today when we look at the good life, so often, you know, you look at some of these pictures in here, and it takes you in there, but you also are given a guide to how you're going to choose to live that life. So often we think that life happens to us. Oh, thank you. That's all good. As long as I don't fall off, that's my first goal, right? Just don't fall off the stone. But when we look at the good life, so often we look at, I wish I had this. So and so has this. Why don't I have that? And we have it all wrong. We have it all wrong. The good life is identifying the things that we want to happen and what we're going to do to make happen. And I want to share something today. And God, I'm so blessed to have so many great people on Facebook. And if you're not friends of mine on Facebook, please friend me up. It will continue to inspire you throughout your life. And believe me, the people who follow me inspire me. And today someone gave me this quote. It said, it's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great. That should be in front of everybody's cubicle, everybody's car, everybody's mirror when you wake up in the morning. You know? So I have to tell you, people who know my story, it's been 5 years since I started the Molly Sunshine Group, and what that is a motivational speaking company, but I've also written 6 books and built 2 other companies while working full-time for Westchester University, and oh, by the way, I have a 7-year-old son with a husband. And you might be thinking, the good life, that sounds like the life from bleep, you know. But you know, it is a good life, because it's my life. And what we sometimes forget is that we have the opportunity to create it. And when we go through the good life, I start with affirmations. How many of you ever heard of affirmations? Excellent. How many of you have an affirmation that you say every day? Okay, everybody did raise your hand. Thank you for your honesty. That's your homework assignment. I want to tell you, for the past 5 years, I had something, and I kind of took these things from home because I want to show you that I practice what I preach. Building all those things that I told you is not to be, hey, you have all that in a bag of chips. This is because some of the affirmations I put in front of mine. I have both money and time for family. I enjoy living a life of purpose with passion and persistence. I enjoy attracting people into my life that assist me in living a life of peace. I didn't always have that. I have it now. It takes some hard work every day. And you're going to fall off, but you're going to fall back right on the track and keep it on going, because I enjoy attracting people into my life that assist me in living my best life in peace, right? I know you know what I'm talking about. Affirmations. One of my interns at Westchester University, I used to put little nuggets in her head. She's now a trainer, by the way. I'm so proud of her. She's fabulous. But she gave me this blank mug. She's like, all those little things that come out of your mouth, you need to write them on a mug. I encourage all of you to have this mug because there's greatness that comes out of each and every one of your mouths. Sometimes not all the time. But we're all works in progress, may I remind you of that. But these are the things that recenter you. When you're having that bad day, you're looking and you're looking at your affirmations. You're looking at this mug that you created because this is you. So it's your affirmations. It's what you're choosing to surround yourself by. No one says you have to have negative people in your life. There are boundaries you can set. Living the good life starts by writing down what a good life looks like. Once you start doing that, you start achieving that dream. Now, I have all my little props down here. Here is, I'm just testing whether I stay on it. You're good. You're going to be my banner? No. This is a book that actually got me through because there was a time that I was going to leave my job at Westchester University and I was going to go and do this full time. And many people were pushing me to do it. Like, yeah, Molly, be the next Tony Robbins. I'm like, I will. But you know what? Family's first for me right now. So I'm going to be the local Oprah, as Lori says, I'm the local Oprah, until it's my time to fly the coop. But I want to tell you, just surrounding yourself by even a good book. This is Love It, Don't Leave It. 26 Ways to Get What You Want at Work. You know, think about why you are where you are. Why do you stay? Where do you need to go? And if you feel like you need to go, why aren't you going? That's when you get that support system. You don't have a support system? Guess what? You just heard me speak. You have one person on your team. And I know a lot of people here, they'll be on your team. You just have to ask. Ask for that team. Because you're the average of 10 people you spend the most time with, folks. How's your 10? How's your 10? Giving you a lot to think about, didn't I? In this book, The Good Life, Ben Franklin is one of my faves. He had these things called 13 virtues. It's how he chose to live his life every day. And every day he would mark how he thought that he showed up in the world for those 13 virtues. He wasn't good every day. And in his dying day, he'll tell you temperance was still one of those things that he couldn't get done. But you know what? He worked on it every day. Some of the inspiration that came from this book in the back is that you have trackers. You can track your good life. You can track your good life. It has a family tracker. How many of your family, think about who's in your family. Are you always on the same page? I'm thinking not. But when you have a common language and you look for things and try to understand where you are and where you're going, you start to establish this common ground. It's the good life. My good life might not be my husband's good life, might not be Tyler's good life. I'm thinking he doesn't want to write 6 books right now at age 7. You know? Think about that. Keep the good life in perspective. Keep the communication going. What I want to share with you, I actually asked the 2 tallest women in the room to see if they could help me here. Living the good life also comes from having a vision. And many people say, how are you able to do all these great programs, these great ideas, and you just produce them so quickly? Well, I'm going to get out one of my vision boards, and I call them scrolls, because this is from my guest bedroom. So when I have these ideas, I put them, and this is just one of them. You know, you'll see that there's a CD, there's a children's story, there's a musical, there's the next book, Poop. I'm still working on the title. I hope so. Yeah. But I have to tell you, my husband said, why don't you call it the 6P? Poop. It happens, doesn't it? So we'll see where that goes. Stephen Covey had, the next habit. So, and you'll see that, I'm launching my fragrance line in the fall. J-Lo actually was the inspiration. I put it up. What does it look like? You'll see that there's very similarities. You need to think it. You need to dream it. You need to put it there. But you don't always birth things right away. You put that there, and you'll see this one has been on for 5 years. This is a picture of Will Smith and his family. Yes, well, no, I'm not trying to be African American because I don't think I can ever achieve that one. I'm white. But what I love about Will Smith is his whole family got involved in the family business. And they all chose to make a difference in what they're doing. They all have a common ground. They all are coming together to make a difference. I didn't know if that would ever happen. 5 years from now, yeah, you heard it. You said about my husband and I are on the radio show. I prayed really hard for that, and it worked. Hey, there you go. But again, it's the affirmation. It's the affirmation.
How about pleasant morning buzz?
Pleasant morning buzz. I'm thinking that maybe there's a coffee line to
I was thinking it was the morning show.
Yeah, no, that was a coffee line. And also $5 million. You'll see there's a $5 bill. Why not put it up there and add a couple zeros? You know? No one says you can't make $5 million. It's what your good life is. You know, you need to see, and I even put this email for my husband, and this was on May 4th. Maybe I'm supposed to use the education I got to show how a simple dad used the info, he's a health counselor, and changed he and his family's lives to take this to the people. For some reason, I just started thinking about this. Yeah, for some reason. Yeah, you all know. I've been thinking about that, and we've all been thinking about that. And the more people you get involved thinking about the things that you're thinking about, the more it happens. It's the good life. So, meanwhile, thank you very much. I just wanted to show you some of that. But this is some of the stuff that ideas come off of. You know, and I do it every three months. Every 3 months, I take off the ideas that work. And I just recently took these off. Sunshine Adventures. How many of you went zip lining? We had a group of women zip lining. It's like, hey, why not?
Where's Laura?
Here's another one I put on about 4 months ago. It was wine glasses in a vineyard. Hey, we're having sunshine painting in a vineyard. You know, if my 7-year-old can paint this. Oh yeah, he doesn't paint like this normally. This is what this woman has a talent in doing. So it's all about really stretching ourselves and seeing how we can live our good life. You know, so even the tokens are in here, Lori. I took them off. I was able to take them off. We had Dream Big, Shine Bright tokens. Again, when you put that up there, you don't necessarily know what it's going to look like, what it's going to be, but you just have to let it go. And to find that good life and know that if you have those people around you and you have a definition of a good life, that's going to help you get there. Now, with everyone in this room, all of you have a beautiful name tag. Now, many of you have 3, 4, no, not 4. If you have 4 pictures in it, then you're cheating, because that means you were at October's, and I know you haven't been at October's when the women are wine. But many of you have it. And your last one that you have, I want you to look at. And if you don't have one, that means that you can go wherever you want. What I want you to do is, as I close here, I want you to double up with someone. So if you are a heart, I want you to find a shovel. If you are a sunshine, I want you to find a star. And if you are a wild card, that means you can go anywhere, because you're a blank card. You can just help whoever doesn't have a partner. But what I want you to do is think about what a good life looks to you and share it with that person. And then take turns switching. And then what we're going to do is come back to close up the night and then continue to sip up and connect. Go for it.